Welcome back to Railroads Online. I'm River, and we are back at our grand intersection. So, in the last episode, we had connected our iron mine down there and kind of left this a little bit of a mess. Not totally, but down this other corner, all the way down over there, is just, it's really ugly. I'll show you in a minute what happened. But I was thinking about this, and I think we don't even necessarily need that part. If we could connect to this part up here, right, and then put people on this line heading south. So the only goofiness at this moment would be that the cordwood would have to come up here, turn around, and then go back down this way, right, instead of being able to cut over. And other than that, we would have a turn down here that would go over towards the depot. Now, the problem I have in looking at it, and by the way, I want this because when they come out of the sawmill, right, we need to be able to get, I guess, well, both, I think, beams and, or no, just, I'm sorry, we need to get lumber, oh no, lumber and beams down south. All right, we'll call that down south. Um, so we need to be able to come out of here and go that way, which we can't do at all easily. So what I'm thinking of is putting another switch in here to turn that way, but like there's not enough room, right? By the time I put the switch, it's going to end up all the way up here. So I'm thinking maybe we can tighten this up a little bit. And I'm kind of okay with that for the moment. All right, so like I think that we have a little bit of extra room here if we do this carefully. Let's just see if we delete some of this back. Right, like see, maybe we could try to get this to where it would be, even if it pokes down, even if it makes it go this way a little bit. Obviously, we got to balance this out. Putting these switches down is tough. All right, so which way do we want to have be the straight? I would think the higher speed, right? Meaning, cutting through this way with the cordwood would be the higher speed. All right, so could we, in order to make that happen, I mean, we could probably tighten it up some. Are we really even tightening up much? I think I just deleted the switch, so that's certainly a big savings. Plus, it's also facing this way a little bit more as opposed to facing that way, which would make that possible. Possibly, I don't know. Still not much room. Now, the other thing is we do have more room that way. I was just avoiding. There's like a dip before that hill, but if we have to, we'll go that way. Yeah. See, I don't know if we're gonna get this. Let's just try to eyeball it up a little bit, see if it's got a nice sort of work area. Like, am I going to be able to? Yeah, this one might work. I'm wondering if we just have to. Kind of don't really like the way I did that, but I think that trains could fit through it. Let's just see. So this is our problem now, not just the way I did that, but all right, so the question is, can I just turn that a little bit? Let's get rid of this one so it's not in the way at all. Like, I just want to make that a little bit less. Yeah, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. But now the other question is, I think I want to go that. Now, I don't want to be too close. You know what I mean? Like if I can go... I think if I could go like that. If I can get away with that from behind... Yeah... I would want to move it over like 4 inches. Oops. Well, let's see. Can I place it right down on top? I want you to go. Don't attach to it. Let's see, did you put that up in the air? No, you're pretty good. Yeah, that actually... I think I could kind of make that work. Yeah, that's not so bad. And then, ooh, this is going to be the tough one. But that switch is a kind of a ways off. So let's see if we can't. See what I mean? That's not. That is the switch. Where is it? Yeah, that's the switch. I don't want to delete the switch. I wish it was a little bit easier to tell where the switch started sometimes. So this is going to be kind of tight. I really want to get over. I'm kind of okay with that, right? Because this will just be stuff coming out of the... I really should have had some more. Yeah, that's not gonna... That's not too good. Let's do a couple things here. I want a little bit more gravel there because it's sort of... I think this is doable. I mean, yeah, I don't want to get into moving all that right now. So we'll try it from this side. Cheat it just ever so slightly that way to get started. See, part of the problem is when you get into these real tight ones, that's probably about as good as it's going to get for the moment. We'll just have to see if it's just too tight for a train being the biggest issue. Again, I'm okay with it because we're going to be in slow mode coming in and out of the lumber. We're returning with logs or empty log carts, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm okay with that being slow. And this, as long as this one is a little bit on the faster side. Now the problem we have is the real problem we started with. Let's Alright, so let's... Oop, did I get stuck in there? Come on, let me out. Alright, so can I put a little bit of a straight stretch? About my minimum allowable. Yeah, see what happens is it picks up the height from the tip there. So the fact that I didn't have any gravel right there sort of at least partially caused that. Now let's see, can we... Let me get rid of some of this excess. Those things are very unforgiving when you run into them. They're sticky almost, like you can't, like if you run up to a tree, you can kind of get around. That time I ran right through the darn thing. Of course, I said something. All right, so let's get this guy. Looking nicer. I think we want to leave that a little bit wide, longer that way, which is okay. We got plenty of room over here, right? Like there's no reason we can't move further that way. It's do end up with a lot of little pieces. Come from here. Oops, I kind of missed, didn't I? Saw that out of the corner of my eye. Let's get it so it looks nice, tucked in. There you go. All right, so we'll have to change that one depending on what we discover here. All right, that should be, yeah, that should be reasonable. So what do we want to do? Do we want to, let's demolish this. All right, and I'm thinking this is very broad. Let's like redo this one so that it's pointing at our new thing instead of the old one. Didn't need to delete that, but so the new straight is going to be right here. All right, so that should be able to accept a switch to the left. How does that look behind us? It looks like we can polish some stuff and redo it, right? Does that look like there was a little turn in that rail anyway, kind of perfectly? Oh. That's pretty reasonable. See if this was far enough. That's, I guess, the big trick, right? Because this needs to go. Now let's get rid of, because that needs to go a little bit tighter. Right. This needs to be over here so that comes in, matches up with that one. Yeah, this will be no problem on this. At least not from this perspective. So we'll just keep going. Now I want this to be a little bit straighter than it was through here. Right, because we're gonna kind of going back to the old plan, because we're gonna get rid of that goofiness that we just did. I'll show you the other thing now that we're back down here. Let's just try to run this all the way back to where it belongs before we did all our craziness last episode. All right, because then what I'll do is we'll put another switch. One of the things we'll do is we'll put another switch here so that they can go out this way. Then we can actually get rid of this, right? There's no reason, because if the log car is coming, like in the odd case that we want to take cordwood, which again, I know we might take that to new fireplace depots, cordwood will have to come around and come back down this way. So it won't be able to cut off. That's the only thing we're, in a sense, that we're losing. And we're not really going to be taking much to the depot from the lumber mill, right? That's most of my lumber, I think, is going to go to various places. But look at how we did this. I'm not even sure why it did that. Everything here should be pretty level, but look what it... Watch out when you're using these things. That's... If you look, everything's level, but somehow that got placed. Maybe it's because I, like, attached it in a funny way. Well, we can get rid of this anyway for now. That was my... Probably get rid of all this gravel too, but let's just lay the track in case we change our minds. Let's finish this so it comes in nice. All right, and then let's see about a turn. No, not that. Turn right, not left. All right. Yeah, I guess we want it. Maybe something like that. This will be the tougher one. I think that one's going to be easier. So let's do this one first and see if we can make it look nice. Already my gravel, I'm not liking it. Yeah. All right. That didn't last long, did it? Yeah, the fact that I'm not liking that gravel already, I don't know if I'm going to be able to swing it that tight. We'll see. Oops, wrong one. That's pretty tight. That's about as tight as I'd want to go with a turn. Probably even too tight. So let's there's a lot of room here to wiggle. Yeah, definitely. Some of the trees out of the way. But we're going to move that over that much to make sure we can. So we'll get this guy moved over. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm going to, even though it shouldn't be in the way, let's just get rid of that. Because that would be a little more representative of where I'd like to be with this thing. Let's go a little bit further away. It's really, I don't think I'm gonna, you know what, let's redo that one, but, oh, what happened there? All right, that's works, I think. We'll see. It's tight, but if it works, it works. And this should be, I guess it doesn't matter. Though I do see myself wanting to swing it wider than that. Bring it back this way a little bit. And then in. Probably not, not the best turn I ever did. All right, let's get rid of it and start from this other end. I think that I want more gravel. Try not to let the gravel be your guide. Well, wait, I mean, like, force you into something you don't want to do, I should say. Sorry, we could swing that a little bit. A little bit goofy. We got plenty of room. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty sharp, but it's not long. And everything else is kind of lined up pretty nicely there, so we'll see. I don't think we're going to be doing that at like top speed, but you know, I think there's just some intersections in life that's true. No matter what you do. Yeah, that could definitely be done better. Yeah, I think I want more gravel. That feels better. Sometimes you come from the other direction and you get a better perspective on it. These turns are a little bit weird in the way I swing them, but yeah, that's pretty nice, isn't it? So good. Now we can get rid of this thing over here, right? And that'll end this like complicatedness, make this a little bit nicer. Right, stuff can still come in and out of here, go back to the logs. But do we even need, so we don't need this switch. We don't need, any of this right here, this whole triangle. Right, that can just reconnect to that. Or do we want to redo that track to make it look, because nobody's going to go this way. The whole reason for this was our original line coming in, but we're going to have another split that lets us go to that depot the other way. I'll leave this here for the moment, this gravel. Who knows what we'll decide in the future. Yeah, so see how that's all humped up there. Let's make this a little smoother. That's probably a good place to start. I don't know. This is all up high and swooping low. That should be level. Get some of our decorations for now. You know what? We're going to go back to that switch. So this should be level here, I think. Right? So let's see what we can do with staying at that level. We're running out of, cut that close. Might get rid of some of that. All right, so that's pretty close to the same level. A little tiny dip right there. We can get rid of this curve. That's sort of similar what I just put back. And we don't want to get too close to that thing. Skirt right past. How well I did that. Kind of feel like I messed it up. Computer took care of it for me. I'll demolish this. Nah, I didn't do that very well. Yeah, let's see, can I... Let's try it again from this direction. Guess it doesn't matter if I stay up, if we go up a little tiny bit onto that. I don't think that was enough to... Yeah, you can just never put the curves back together perfectly. But I think it's pretty reasonable. Certainly a lot less complicated over here. Let's get rid of this. All kinds of patches of gravel. Look at all this. All right, so let's go from like here. That look decent. Cover up all these sins. Something like that. So now lumber and logs can go around, come back in over here, right? Go back in, do their thing. If you want to come straight through with your cordwood, you can go over here, loop back around. Again, if we want to go to the depot, that's the last part. Oops, I guess we need to come over here, finish. So this is all finished. So we could go one way or the other through here. And then the next thing will be the way to get to the depot from up here. And again, I don't really plan that being a huge thing. I mean, obviously we got to get trains in and out of the one depot, but of course that tree's in my way. If we can work our way past it. I'd like to be fairly straight right there. So what I'm kind of picturing is, you know, obviously we get rid of this. And then somewhere, see, we made all this crooked just for the sake of that crossing. But now we don't. A big mess here, don't we? Let's cut these trees so we can see what we're doing. That will let us keep south closer to the oil field, if that makes sense. It'll be, you know, you go either side of that hill right where it says freight kind of thing. If that makes sense. And so this way, if there's anything we want to sell from the north, we'll have to come this way. And that includes cordwood and logs. We'll just have to loop around and then come down here. So probably right in this neighborhood. Maybe, yeah. All right, are we really on a turn? Well, we can make it straighter right there. All right, so right in this neighborhood, we'll do a switch left. Yeah, so it's really kind of on the turn there, isn't it? So let's see if we can't make it kind of straight out of where I'm standing. See what that looks like. We could always swing it. Right, that's not perfect. We can live with it. Yeah, that's very deceiving what I did there. That's pretty good deleting, wasn't it? So this is going to swing. Come to this side. Swing over this way. Yeah, there was a valid complaint. Not that I'm the arbiter of what's valid and what's not, but yeah, so that's a height difference there, but we can fix that. See, so there, why is there such a height difference? Is that? Okay, that's a slope there. That's right, because we had to go meet. Now let's see, can I turn this guy enough to get on there? Let's get rid of trees. Trees flying everywhere. Probably have sloped that down before here, but I really don't like ending that the way I just did. Let's... Ooh, yeah, since that's sort of decided for us, we'll give it a nice gradual slope all the way down to here, right? That's a lot of gravel. It's usually better to slope down into something like this than the other way. Now, I don't know. We might just even do that a little different, but get rid of that. Right, that's, I don't think we need to be this gradual with our slope, but it deleted the whole thing for me anyway, so. Let's see what a 1 down looks like. Time we get to here. It's not too bad. Then we just do this level, right? And we'll just butt it right into there. But that's... I don't want all that duplicate. It'll dive into there better this way. Look nice. Right, just like so. Perfecto. And I don't like the fact that I stopped in this turn, so I guess I have to go back and... you know what? The other thing is, we're going to get rid of... I like the way that swung, but it wasn't exactly in the right place. All right, we'll do the right in the middle of the track thing, make it look perfect, close. Oops. Before I even get over to here. That's a straightaway enough, I think. What? No. just short. All right, so let's see what that looks like running back the other way. All right, we're in business. So what else do we have to do? We have to hook up this line back to going south. So see, you'll be able to come in here go past the depot, go all the way down, and reattach back in the south if you wanted to. That's my vision. But we won't worry about that until we actually have the oil barrels and want to sell things. We're still starting our fledgling economy here. All right, so this is just going to swing this. Let's get rid of some of that kind of stuff. We can fix that later. Right, even this is... And then all of this can go. Just deleting stuff that doesn't even matter, right? Like you just delete it and it's... Oops, not demolished. That's not that. We'll swing this kind of wider and then bring it back a little more gradually. That'll be fine. Certainly at the speeds we've been traveling, that'll be fine. All right, so let's see if we can't run the rail this way. Save ourselves. All right, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I don't know, kind of straighten that section out. Just in a goofy way. Okay, well, I kind of knew I was doing it, and I did it anyway. All right, so that should be... Let's try it from this. I did want to do it from this end. That's where I was saying save ourselves going back, but it just felt like I would do better. All right, let's see, is that... Now, if you're sitting there watching me not knowing the difference, it's... Yeah, see, that's certainly a little bit sharp right there, but a lot smoother than it was. So there we go, guys. We have redone the grand intersection. This is our grandest intersection in that sense, where we've cut off that. You know, and I think the thing to do now is to talk about what would we do next as far as... We got to get this one. To bring the rail cars up. Well, why don't we drive until we hit the hour mark or so? Might as well do something to fill out the 1 hour episode. Not that they have to be 1 hour, but... All right, and then eventually we're going to bring them back and come down here. So this is going to be the wrong way. And that next one's going to be the wrong way because we don't want to go to the depot. Fix that little jut out while we're here. I think I can demolish that and we'll nicer. All right, so now those are set. Yeah, let's just go back to these two. We can cut the corner off. Yep, so this one's right, going back out that way. This is the one that we're going to have to flip each time, so it depends on which way my car is facing, and I kind of forget. I know that the train is down there. I just forget which way I went in and out. So this one is right. That one's right. This one is going to be right. And then, well, we might as well just keep running around this way, and we'll go get the rail car. Yeah, see, this is a lot simpler up here. So if we want to do something more up here, or different, we can. I was thinking at one point we could separate. Well, no, we need. Nah, yeah, this is fine. I was going to say, there's a part of me really wants to redo this section. But, all right, so we're going to have to go out that side. So let's set this guy up so he's coming in this way, going out that way. This is perfect. And so we want to take this. Yeah, this is the kind of car, right? The same one that hauls the lumber. Tier 2. Let's pull up and get some water and firewood. So either way, we're going to need to, like, it makes sense to bring this guy up there, even if we, and this is the question of, when you start leaving stuff laying around, like, where do we put it so that it's the most logical? Like, do we just always bring it back here? Let's do V, so we'll. It's water in here. How much do we even need? Not too much, but we'll top her up. We should open the lid first. Fill in. Should be getting it. Can we reach it both ways? Yeah. Would be nice if you could see a little bit better. I'm not getting any firewood, even though it says pick firewood up. There we go. How much do we need? Yeah, one more. Get some for the furnace. Though that got cold with all that work. This is overflowing by now, I'm sure. All right, so we're ready to head up there, I think. We didn't really check these switches. That thing's going to heat up anyway for a second. So I think we still have some pressure, but yeah. So those are both right, or left, which is right. Yeah, I think we can make it up at least to the smeltery. There's nothing we would bring up to the smeltery, right? Because the smeltery just needs cordwood and iron. So it's not even like we would it's not like there's anything that could go up there. Now this is the idea where you had a depot. Like, it could make some sense to, like, haul some stuff and leave it up there. If you had a depot area where you could drop off the lumber for storage, because then that lumber could be taken further on. Either the beams could go up to the. Let's slow down a little bit for the first time we're going through here. All right, the beams can go up to the. Well, lumber and beams can go to the iron mine, but then, oh, that's a deep. It's kind of a steep dip or something right there. That's the wrong way. I was staring at that being the wrong way. Ah. Oh, that's the one we have to flip, and that's the one I said, yeah. Alright. Let's run this guy up here where we can... the right way. Let's go back and put brakes on this one because it's still good to go. Let's derail this guy. Derail that guy. Can we get him? No. But right here. No. How about behind all these other ones? Might not like that because it's on a switch too, but we'll find some place to re-rail this guy. No? Right here, yeah. Is that good enough? Okay, so I'm actually going to take the brake off of this guy. Oh, we should have checked links. I should have checked links. All right, so let's get that one out of there. Put the link on the back of each car. That one's got a link, but it needs a... Believe it or not, when the links, even if the links look goofy, they will work. And then, yeah, let me run all the way back down there. I should have checked that link before I... Because we're just going to mush all these together. So this one doesn't have a link. Does. Rid of it. All right, I'll take the brake off of this one. Oh, it is off. Did I do that already and I forgot that quick? Yeah, that wasn't much of an adventure, was it? Didn't last long. Yeah, you know, and I was sort of staring at that, like, in a dumb way, like just going, you know what? I don't think that's right. I was right. Wasn't right. Yeah, and that's the one that we have to flip. Every time we go in and out, we got to come back here, which is kind of good because before we had to flip it all the way over there, which was just that much further away. So I'm actually not unhappy with this change. It's just a little bit closer. I want to be kind of gentle. Let's turn that off. A little tiny bit of brake. A little tiny bit more. Yeah, see how they slid away from me? What I was afraid of. There we go. Got that one. Just check that they're all attached, but yeah, then this should be the only brake on. Nice. All right, now we're back in business. Woohoo! Put it on 17 and make sure everybody's coming with us. Certainly look to be, right? We got all the carts. Shadows are messing me up there with my count, but yeah, we got We have 6 of them back there. And then, yeah, so let's see. Well, I can't look at the money right now, but so we're down to 2,000. When it comes to this, we get $18 per piece of iron according to my chart, which is $54 per car. So that's going to be like $300 plus another 24. So that'll be like a little over 300 bucks with the 6 cars full of iron. We can only carry 3 apiece. And then coal. Yeah, coal is going to be a little bit. It's not as expensive. Where is it? Let me look here. Move that. The coal can get $15 each, but 10 per car. Now we only have 3 cars, and I don't have that much coal up there. I do have 30 coal, which will be good. So we'll bring 30 coal down at 150, so we'll get 450 for the coal run. So we'll get $700 and some dollars, almost $800, relatively quick here. I'm learning not to talk too much when that thing's making all that racket, but we'll be a little quiet on the way down the hill. So my goal isn't to make a ton of money, at any time in the very near future. I might do some runs once we get this set up to kind of like, make a few extra bucks, because it would be nice to get a new train before we completed the entire progression. There's certainly no reason you need a new train. This thing, especially if you go way too fast. I forgot to turn that up to 30. Is usually a 28, 35 is usually a pretty good speed for me down this hill. 33 will work wonderfully. So anyway, that's what you get for not paying attention. Next thing you know, you're wrecking your train. And it would be nice to have some signs, even though, to be honest, after a little while, it's like if you drove back and forth to work every day, you kind of know where the stop signs are. You probably don't even need a stop sign after a while. I think that would be a little bit true as you get familiar with the route. But it still would be nice to have some warnings here or there. I think plus signs would make a nice decoration. Really where we need the signs is to mark like where to stop, so it's a little easier to stop at these various locations. So what I'm thinking I'll do is we'll cut the video after we get in here and park, and then the next episode we'll pick up from there, and we'll take, I don't know if we'll have enough time. That coal is a long run. Maybe what I'll do is run out to the coal, and I think we've been out there, and then maybe we'll just run back. We'll have to see. This one I'm not going to just stare at. That is definitely the wrong way. Alright, so now the only other benefit is I don't know how much iron we hold, but there is a benefit to, like, once we have all these switches switched the right way, to keep them that way. So now this guy needs to be switched. That's going to let us come in. That doesn't matter which way this guy sends us. Just as well it's out. This is in the bypass mode, which is great because there's cars there. And this should be in the go in mode, though to be honest, by the time we run over here, we probably would have been off just driving and switching it, but I'm here now. Yep, this is going in, and the rule of thumb is leave both of these either way for the next person or myself. There we go, so we should be good to get in there. We're going to go looping around the long way, but there we go. We are getting it done. And I think, yeah, saving up some money for a train. I almost was working towards that. Here, let's take a look. Look at that, $2,400. We've spent a lot. We've spent a good amount cutting trees down. almost $2,500. Yeah, $2,500 to put in those lines, and we're not totally done because we'll have to do some more down by the refinery and the oil field, but which is kind of fair given how much you work. I mean, I'm actually quite impressed that they balanced out the economy as well as they did, considering it's just trees. It's, you know, like whoever had that idea in that meeting or whatever, like, why don't we just charge $2 for the trees, and then they can build whatever kind of tracks they want. I think was a pretty nice early game, early access compromise there. Too fast. This is not a high speed. Not a high speed loop through here. And some people did complain it would be nicer if we did have, I was thinking about, like, if they change these controls, like the whistle just needs to be an on-off button, really, right? Do we really need a whistle that's 0 to, and then like the generator, isn't that either on or off? I mean, I guess you would want percentages, but anyway, it would be nice if we had a little bit fine tuning, especially on this regulator and on the brake too. Like, yeah, so is this too fast? I wouldn't think so. This is the part I'm worried about being too sharp, but that's fine. All right, we made it. That's the iron. I think is the first one. So let me start slowing down. Now, part of my dilemma that I was talking about before we left is that the tree's kind of right in my way. You know, when we come back, do we want to leave these rail cars here, or do we want to leave them down by the sawmill? Because, you know, we do want to come back up here and pick up the rail cars, the hopper cars from over here. We got to get those hopper cars and go take them up for coal. So, but I'm thinking maybe we should leave these, and that's where the idea of a yard comes in. I don't necessarily want to leave these cars in that lumber area every time, right? Like, it would be nice in that big open space if we could figure out how to get in there and just have a nice place to drop stuff off and kind of a little bit centrally located to most of our trips. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed the episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. We will come back. I'll load this guy up, and we'll see about getting some raw iron, as they call it in this game, or iron, as I always called it. Yep. And we'll drive that down to our new tools to get some tools and whatnot. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a good day. Bye-bye.